welcome to Relationship Talk.
And my name is David. Good to be here again today.
On this channel, this is a new YouTube channel which you know, and here you get tips on cultivating healthy relationships. So today we're talking about disconnected lines. Are you talking or communicating? That's what we're talking about. So you can start disconnected lines.
All right, so disconnected lines is talking about, when you are not, you're talking instead of communicating. And there's a difference between the two. We kind of look up the word disconnected, and we find out that it means detached. All right, to be detached. It means to be separated. It means to be isolated. It also means disengaged. It also means unconnected and unattached or apart. So when you are communicating, you get a feedback. But when you're talking, you're just talking. So that's what we're looking at today.
Yeah, so what you're saying now is that if you're in a relationship, and you can be in a relationship, then there's two of you, but then it just seems like you are disconnected. It seems like you are separated, you are isolated, even though you're talking to the person, but you're not getting feedback from that person. That's what disconnected lines mean.
So communication is not complete without the feedback. So the other person has to understand what you are saying. By the feedback that they give, we will be able to understand. So in a relationship, one of the problems with relationship is that sometimes people misunderstand. You're saying something, and the other person is getting a different thing. I mean that happens every day. You're talking to somebody, and all of a sudden the person is like, "I don't get what you're saying," and so you have to explain yourself, because every time you're communicating, or you're talking to someone. You understand your own point of view, where you're coming from. You can picture it, because we think in picture, not in words. So you can actually picture what you're trying to communicate, but the other person might not get it. So, but how do you know if the other person understands?
Feedback
Is by feedback.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah, that is so true. And do you have to schedule a time to communicate? So some people have to actually schedule. So if you have to, if that's how in your relationship, if you have to schedule when to speak, that's fine, when to talk. But for like us, I believe that communication should come naturally. And like we said last week, that for example, in a married relationship, if you're married to someone that is your friend, then you don't need to schedule when to talk. It should just come naturally. Fine, you might need to know the timing of when to share a certain information. You might just watch out for the timing, but you don't have to really schedule when to talk.
Yeah, every time I tell my wife, like, we need to talk, she knows that it's serious. We've actually had that maybe 2 or 3 times in almost 18 years of marriage. And it was like a major decision.
Yeah, like we need to talk.
That we need to talk. Anytime I say to her, we need to talk, it's usually a major decision. Like, for example, when we wanted to move from England here, and the Lord told me that we have to move here. That we had to talk. But as God will have it, as I was saying to you, like, this is what God is. I said I wanted to see you. That when we get home, we want to talk. We're at church, and she said to me, "Is it about Canada?" And I just like, wow. And that was it. So we didn't really have to talk. We just had to actually together agree on what we needed to do.
Yeah. But some people still have to schedule when to talk, which is fine. But I believe even if you start with that, you should gravitate towards just being able to talk as friends. Because friends don't really schedule when to talk. They just talk. If they have something to say, they just call you, hello, blah, 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 and they just talk to you.
They can be in the car, and then they have a discussion. They can be eating tacos and be talking. They can be, sipping coffee, and they're just talking.
And they're communicating. Yeah. Maybe we should say that. So communication really has to be, I hear what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, we're on the same page. Talking is voicing your opinion, but not necessarily getting a feedback. Communication is voicing your opinion and getting a feedback on it. That's the clear difference between that. So if you are in a place whereby you are having disconnected lines in your relationship right now, you might want to evaluate, okay, are we talking or are we communicating? And if you are talking, you might want to think, okay, we need to sit down and evaluate this relationship, and maybe we need to fix a few things, whatever you need to fix, Because how do we bring relationship from talking to communication?
It's about cultivating a relationship. You need to spend time.
Like a garden, the way you cultivate a garden. Take out the weeds, and then you cultivate it.
You need to create
you water
time.
it.
You need to create time. You need to get to know the other person first. Like last week, we talked about defining your relationship. You know who you are. You know you are comfortable with. You know your own style. We all have a style of communication. Some people, when they want to send a message across, for example, in a romantic relationship, or even not a romantic relationship, even friendship, some people just all of a sudden become moody. They know that by being moody, the other person is going to ask, what's wrong
with you?
What's going on? And then the opportunity now comes to like, okay, this is how I'm feeling inside. This is what is going on. It might not have anything to even do with the other person, but it might just be their state of mind at that point. But, whatever your own style is, you must know yourself and you must know how to.
And you can always take it in steps. You start from talking, but then, like you said, like a garden, you cultivate it, water it, take out whatever weeds you need to take out, and then just move towards effective communication.
Yeah, and also we need to mention the fact that communication or lack of communication is one of the major obstacles to having a healthy relationship. Misunderstanding one another, because if you say something and the other person is understanding something different, there's non-verbal communication where the other person, maybe your body language is saying something completely different, and the person thinks, oh, maybe you're not interested in, I don't know, this person is not interested in me, whereas it's not like that.
Yeah. So hope you enjoyed our tip today. If you haven't connected with us, you can on Relationship Talk with David and Olu on Facebook, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love to hear from you. Comments, feedback, any questions you have. Share this with others that you think might enjoy the video as well. And
our last line, always remember, feedback is an important part of communication. See you next week.
Okay, bye.